Ironically, I have to explain that I'm going to waste the first 30 seconds of this video because I need to use it to explain that none of the rest of this video is a waste of time. YouTube analytics tell me most people will not finish this video. That will be a mistake. I hope you hear me out. I hope you stick it out and it becomes worth your time. If you plan on half-efforting this video, go ahead and leave now. But we're going to get into it. I have not been on YouTube. I've not done anything for YouTube as a creator since my last video, the night of Saturday, July 13th, just after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. It felt wrong to me to, at multiple points, because I'm a creator, I had the itch. I had things I wanted to say. I had videos I wanted to make. A lot of people ended up making them instead. This is not stuff that you can't find out there, but there was times where I wanted to make videos going deeper into what I spoke about last time when I called the left the most dishonest category of people amongst us today. Then, I'm seeing some disgusting things coming from the left, including this Destiny character saying that he feels no sympathy for the person murdered by the assassin.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude. The firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him.
He also reposted the absolutely tragic, heartbreaking photo of where this man, this firefighter, this father, and this husband died. And he said, all I see is Biden is up one in Pennsylvania.
I thought about reacting to stuff like that. That's some of the most straight to the point, brutal things that anybody has said, because it's one of the most brutal things you can say, possibly. But there's lots more examples of that. That's not a one-off. I've thought about reacting to stuff like that. I've thought about reacting to some of the... There's been music. I appreciate music. I make some of my own. I appreciate rap. I make some of my own. Songs by Tom MacDonald. Song by Token. I thought about reacting to some of these. In some ways, I thought they were good. Well, in some ways, I thought the Tom MacDonald one was good and fine. And in other ways, I thought the Token one was odd at best. The more I just allowed myself to feel the weight and the moment every day, just felt wrong for me to put anything out before Donald Trump spoke. He spoke tonight at the RNC. A lot has happened. A lot has happened since you guys heard from me Saturday night. The entire RNC has now taken place. The vice presidential pick for Donald Trump has been announced on his Truth Social. The speeches from a whole bunch of people at the convention. Seeing Melania there, finally. And then Donald Trump's speech that we frankly never probably should have even heard. But it happened. Forgive me, I'm again going with no notes in this video at all. I have a vague idea of where I want to go here, but again, my order of getting things out might be a little bit confusing. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can, but man, there's no way to do this stuff with notes, man. But anyway, yeah, I'm watching stuff on YouTube, and in the little niche corners of the internet that I like to hang out, I'm wondering, man, how we got people out here uploading videos about DoorDash and roulette and Caitlin Clark this and Bronny James that. This is the kind of stuff I watch on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, dude, that's crazy. People's disconnect or just I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just kind of just disgusting to me. I'm getting texts from people in my personal life on Monday. Hope y'all had I'm in a group text. I'm in a group text with some family. Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. Did not take me long. It did not take me long to respond and say, I hope no one had a wonderful weekend. That would be an incredibly inhuman response to a near civil war. So I pissed off some family. I probably pissed off a friend. In another group chat with some friends, buddy of mine sending like what would be the equivalent of memes, or like a basketball TikTok the day after, or it might have been the night or the morning after Trump was shot. And I'm like, man, with all due respect, get the F out of here with this, bro. Like, this guy's slightly younger than me, also married, also making his way, but also doesn't have kids yet. Same boat as me. I'm a 26-year-old married man, no kids. AKA, if that bullet was a quarter of an inch different, or Trump hadn't turned, or I hate to even credit Trump with turning because this was divine intervention written all over it. If Trump dies that night, there's nobody defending the people before males in their 20s with no kids. That's just the reality. So I felt specifically at risk beyond just the fact that it was my presidential nominee targeted. I felt like, man, my future and body's on the line with every bit of this. And so is yours, buddy. My buddy who talking about, wanting to make jokes and talk about basketball. Man, I love basketball, but come on, man. People's disconnect is crazy to me, and it's disrespectful. I see it as disrespectful to me to text me, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Wow, dude. Wow. We were real close. And see, the more I thought about it too, because my mind went to like, dude, if that kills Donald Trump, we're in a civil war. The reality is Royce White is correct when he says, man, sure, there might have been I'm paraphrasing here, but I'll have his tweet right here beside me so that you can read what he actually said. Basically, in short, yeah, there might have been a civil war attempt, but it would have been so spur of the moment. It would have been out of control, unwinnable immediately, at least, and we'd be under martial law right now. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because they, in their opinion, would have the obligation and moral duty and authority to instate martial law if there had been a real civil war attempt, which I don't really see how that's avoided. Here I'm going to contradict myself again, because I say that, but if people are reacting with basketball TikToks, and like, life is normal. So many people I saw were like, man, life is normal. No, bro. No dudes and dudettes. That we are in anything but normal times, even still. Even after kind of the initial shock being over, and man, we are in nothing resembling normal times. Okay, where do I want to go from there? Okay, so I didn't decide to upload stuff to YouTube until we heard from Trump and himself, because that felt appropriate. I wish everybody else would have adhered to the same kind of thing, because talking about roulette and DoorDash in basketball before then was deranged. The good news is delaying some of those leaning negative uploads I was considering has given me some time. I've really soaked this stuff in and thought about the bigger picture again. And what a moment we have here to really unify as people. A lot of people think it's cool to be non-political because I might be wrong about that. They don't even think it's cool, but they know that it's easy. They know that it's easy to be non-political. So they try not to be, and they do whatever and vote with their parents or vote with their friend circle or whatever that is. Maybe not. Maybe they just don't vote. It's cool to be non-political. So it's been hard to get people to understand in this time the good versus evil of policy, of left versus right that exists, the life versus death. That's just all over the policies, literally written into the policy sometimes. DIE, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity, inclusion, and equity. But they why do they order it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh, we'll get one over on them. We'll call DIE DEI, and we'll just sneak it right past them. Sometimes they hide in plain sight with this stuff, y'all. Literally, we have the two sides arguing between what's called pro-choice and pro-life. We got people arguing against pro-life. And when you just go up and down the policies, you kind of see like, oh, there's policies that are life-giving and like policies that support death. So like the stuff's not hard to understand, but people aren't like going there because it's cool to be non-political. Now we have the chance to show like the life-giving side, the pro-God side of conservatism. Right now, the MAGA movement, on a very human level. One of the things that's just been sticking out to me nonstop in the RNC, watching all of that stuff, was, man, everybody can resonate with life and death. Knowing people who died, that, what do people always say? Man, I just wish I could have one more hug, one more conversation with this person that I did not know was going to go so soon. Trump was a dead man in that bullseye. I mean, he was done. If not for divine intervention. Truly. Clearly and obviously, in my opinion, that was miraculous. I think I used the term miracle in my last video too. I don't think it really sat in enough, because I'm somebody who I'm Christian. I would tell you I'm a Christian, but I would tell you that I don't think I've ever like experienced something that I'd call a miracle, like a true miracle. Like stuff that just can't be, like everything kind of in my life I could say, yeah, you can chalk that up to a reasonable chance. This deal here with Trump not being shot, dodging that bullet, is that was a miracle on national TV. That was just in front of everybody. That was miraculous, actually. And I think like proves God beyond us being here, which already proves God, but really proves God's timing's perfect. Because a lot of people that believe in God still struggle with that. I'm putting it on camera right now. I'm not going to struggle with that ever again. God's timing is perfect. When you look at how precise that had to be for it to not result in the death of the president. Miraculous. Anyway, where was I going? What I was saying was people can resonate with that miraculous lack of a death happening because he was going to die, if not for the miracle. And so he's been given, in these last 4 or 5 days, he's been given all of those opportunities people talk about. Man, one more conversation. If I could just let him know one more thing. Man, he's gotten to sit there before he spoke tonight and listen to other people. Who knows what our afterlife experience is like in terms of what we're aware of that happens on the earth still while we're not here. But he's been able to be fully aware of what people would have said or want to say, because now they're saying it. And not that people weren't celebrating Trump to his face beforehand, but man, the power of Don Jr.'s speech with Trump sitting there after maybe Trump wasn't going to be sitting there. The power, I think her name's Kai, the power of the granddaughter's speech with Donald Trump sitting there after he wasn't going to be sitting there. The power of moments like Donald Trump saying, I wasn't supposed to be here, and the crowd saying, man, yes, you were.
I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Yeah. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
And yes, he was. Because God decided so. God decided so. And, man, I don't think it's ever been more clear that God has submitted a vote. This is kind of where I'm taking it at the end here, man. I'll wrap up because I've gone longer than I thought I was going to go. But I've said nothing that I didn't know I needed to say. God has voted. And regardless of what you think, you know, I think that by virtue of us even having this conversation is proof that there's a God. But, man, if you're somebody, no matter what you do believe in, if you're self-aware enough to realize that you're not the reason you are here, which means something or someone else is the reason you're here, which points to a God, man, you have to just feel like, man, God voted in this election here. And golly, how wrong would a person be to not be voting with God? That's how I'm kind of thinking of that. Is like, man, if you're not voting with God in this moment, that would be what we call a you problem. That would be a you problem. So I'd really think about that. I'd really think about that hard. Because, you know, even if people want to tell me, like, you know, even my church, I think, completely missed the mark Sunday. Bad. I think they missed it by worse than Thomas Crooks did. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. My church missed the mark, though, in my opinion. But I know a lot of, like, weak people that would tell you, man, you think God cares about our politics? God doesn't care about that. Man, yeah, I think God does. I think God voted here. And, you know, beyond politics, every individual's sacred honor matters. Every individual's decision here in November matters for themselves. And if you're not voting with God, that's not the way to go, man. I end this video kind of honestly, kind of a weight lifted off my shoulders, in the sense that I've thought about this long enough to feel like, because for a little bit I was like, man, is it just a matter of time until they try again? The more I've thought about it, the more I think, no, it's not going to happen, dude. It's not going to happen. Trump's going to make it because God voted. And I think a lot of realizations have been made, including hopefully some of the ones that I expressed in this video. I think that's happening across the country, across the world. I think that's happening. And so, you know, God turns all things for good. God's timing is perfect. Unfortunately, someone died in the crowd too. But I'm no longer going to question stuff like that. It's hard to swallow, but you can't say God's timing is perfect and reject what we interpret as the bad, but accept the good. We got to kind of take it all at this point. I'm willing to take everything at this point and say, no, God's got it right. God's got it right. As hard as that is in that case of the firefighter who's down. But you know, my thought process is no, there's not. I don't think there's even going to be another attempt. And if there's another attempt, it ain't going to work. God's decided. And that's taken a weight off my chest in the same way. And this is an interest. You know, when this thought came across my mind, I stopped what I was doing and I was like, whoa. In the same way that Christians talk about, we fight not for victory anymore, but we fight from victory. If you've read the entire Bible, if you've read through Revelation, we've been told what the ending is, man. And because of that, through salvation and through God's might and just ability to win this thing in the end, with or without me specifically, that allows me to fight not for victory for God in the kingdom or for anything else that I root for. It allows me to fight from victory. Crazy weight lifted off your chest when you get that. There's no way to lose. Therefore, I'm fighting from victory. And it feels like that now in this election with Trump, with the clear indication to me that God has voted. It feels like we're fighting from victory now. And I think that changes the tone of Trump and his speech. I think it changes the tone of how I approach things and talk and interact with internet people on this channel. So I say that to kind of kick off a reboot here. I'm going to hit play on my channel again. We're going to get back to some of the fun stuff that I like to do on the channel too that I felt was inappropriate over the last week, basically. We're going to do some of the fun stuff again. We're going to get back rolling to normal life again. But only because we're able to fight from victory. And I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll join us. If you're not already there already. Thanks for hearing me out all the way. Did you put it on double speed? That's okay. If you put it on double speed, you still heard my whole discussion today. I hope y'all have a good weekend, truly, this time, actually. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next time on Welty.